super excited to welcome her. If you're interested in her chapbook, or is it a chapbook? It's a poetry book. It's a book. It's on the table over there for sale. Jasmine Waiters is an emerging spoken word poet from California. As an artist, she often uses raw truth, relentless imagery, and ambitious metaphors as a means for commentary and expression. In June of this year, Jasmine released her poetry book, Before We Were Magic, on that table, and performed on an international stage for the first time. She traveled to Australia to perform at and co-facilitate a workshop for the Emerging Writers Festival. She also headlined a feature performance for Slamalamadingdong Poet Slam while in Melbourne. Jasmine's hope is that through spoken and written word, she can promote healing, understanding, empowerment, and community. Well, yeah. Her favorite flavor of ice cream is orange sherbet. Please welcome Jasmine.
Have any teachers in the house? Teachers? All right, so you'll know. When our students are sitting for a long time, we like to do what's called an energizer. Okay, so before I get going, I just want to do a nice little activity. It's not going to be, don't be scared. All right, I want you to think of one word. Okay, keep it to yourself. And I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Think of one word that comes to mind. I won't tell you why. Be brave to think of the word first. 5, 4, 3. When I count to 3, I want you all to shout out that word at the same time. Like I said, I won't tell you what the word is for, what you're going to do with it until after you've done it. I will be watching you. All right? On 3, shout your word out. 1, 2, 3. I want you to start your next poem with that word. Okay. My name is Jasmine Waiters. Super excited to be here. I'll be sharing some poems with you from my new book, Before We Were Magic. If you like what you hear, buy a few copies, or just one. If you don't like what you hear, still come talk to me. I'm a really cool person, and I promise I won't take it personally. All right, we're gonna jump into some poems. The black woman be an illusionist, walking the street, putting on a show. Everyone applauds. No one notices the queen up her sleeve. Everyone picks a card, any card, pays for the black woman at the register, wears her out the store with her price tag showing. Think themselves enchanted too. The black woman be a Kardashian's hushed inspiration. She be a magician's ghostwriter, the dark bottom of a top hat. Every rabbit pulled from it is a miracle she conjured up herself but won't receive a standing ovation for. The black woman be glory parked in a driveway. She be gas tank, siphoned for culture. She be a residence trespassed upon. She is the front door, closed, not yet locked. Intruders conclude, why else would the black woman be a doorway loose at the hinges, if not for us to come in and take everything? This makes the black woman stand guard, makes her a watchful eye positioned at the stove, roaming the house after dark. She be a clock, pacing the moments between mama, I'm gone, mama, I'm home. The black woman was the first home we knew. She been a patio on a corner lot, a garden basking in the sun. The black woman been the yard work, hand-picking weeds each spring, watering her plants, being the plant and the water too. The black woman is all the resources she needs. She been earth in human form. 2 hands pressed together, praying no more black bodies fade from her ecosystem. She invokes climate change, a response to her plea being another text left unread. Yes, the black woman is red. The black woman is angry. The black woman is a ravishing fire headed for the hill. She is a summer's day best served cold, an ice cap melting expeditiously, a rising sea level closing in on the land. The black woman is the ocean taking its final breath. Ozone layer growing thin, patience growing thin. The black woman be a policy mankind don't want to pass. All this to say, the black woman be too many metaphors, except for praise, except for that which is sacred, except for acknowledgement. Everything we deem necessary can be traced back to her name. Why is it that every black man I know loves black women in the same manner in which he eats his chicken? She, deep fried in southern origin, caught in between the grooves of his teeth. He likes to see her sacrifice for him over flame and popping grease. If she bleeds a little, then he'll know it's real. Watch how he devours her at the dinner table. First, her breast, thighs, wings. She'd be no angel to him anymore. She'd be a meal, a snack, everything but nourishment, anything but protein. How strong is the black woman, you ask? Speak with the men she has carried to supper, those who have made a feast of her back, dining gluttonously in the crease of her spine, even after she has given skin, meat, bones. He continues to suck the juice from her joints until she begrudgingly offers up the gristle, forcing her to serve parts of herself his mouth was never meant to taste. He'll throw his napkin down triumphantly in declaration of a finished plate. When he leaves, the question still lingers. Why is it that every black man I know loves black women in the same manner in which he eats his chicken? Either not at all, or until there is nothing left to crave. The title of this poem is How Little Black Girls Become Assistants in Their Mother's Magic Show. Where does a black woman go in order to save herself? She traveled to her knees, bent them at the horizon of carpet and grave, with a strong grip to her chin, cocked back a prayer so mighty it blew her brains out the back of her skull. Logic splattered on the wall behind her, nothing left but religion, scooping her remains. Prayed so hard for her husband's return, she ended with amen, not a man. The good Lord forgave her. Their daughter sterilizes the scene of the crime before her father arrives, bathes, feeds her younger brother, sits her mama up in bed, sings, weeping, may endure for the night. Keep the faith, it'll be all right. Her mother's husband jingles keys at the door. The girl exits the room quickly, jumps onto the couch, watching cartoons as if no one claimed blood that day. He looks, says nothing. Her mother comes out of the bedroom, enters the kitchen, starts preparing dinner. The daughter releases, under her breath, well, I'll be damned. All the women in me after Nair Wahid. All the women in me are weary today. We want to stay home and rest. The teacher is overworked and underpaid. Her students are seeds fighting to blossom in poison soil. The friend wears prescription glasses, looks out for everyone else, yet is blinded to her own needs. The lover needs time. She has been both porcelain tub, unafraid of muck, and tainted water drained afterward. The hoe, taking agency over her body, She is a porchlight claiming this house. The Christian asks God for forgiveness every week like gas money. The daughter is balancing how she was raised and who she grew up to be, a merging lane for juxtapositions. The sister is a telegram between siblings, a safe deposit box, and a bankrupt body. The aunt bought her niece and nephew popsicles after their parents' divorce. They now hold trauma with a similar grip. The revolutionist, whose voice has grown swollen, tongue sore from declaring her carousel belief, every black life in her matters. The introvert closes the blinds, each one a heavy eyelid, bowing to darkness on command. The quitter abandons the strong black woman complex, calls in sick, anchors herself into the mattress, unable to be the woman she was yesterday. We all have our devices. My mama said, I don't call home enough, as if she found the word home on our porch, drowning in spit, my tongue projected onto the concrete, from blood in my mouth swishing around. Why else would I leave? Stay gone, if not to be the woman she raised me to be, and not be. Poem's over, that's it. Okay, we can do that one. For the men I've loved, I opened the door for him, and he says he couldn't marry her because she wouldn't follow his lead. When we sit, I ask him if his balls are still there. He's stunned. I repeat slowly, I am a woman who just opened the door for you. Did it make you any less of a man? Hypermasculinity looks a lot like my first love, smiling across from me, holding his dick, laughing. Oh yeah, it's still there. But she's not. I'm not. No woman but his mama is. Being the man of the house looks like my brother, reciting vows to himself with blood on his hands. It looks like my father, patching a leaking roof, uttering a mantra. I will not become the things I repair. I will not become the things I repair. I will not become the things I repair. I've opened the door for all of them. Each have walked in and out the frame, still a man. I tell my ex to go back to her. Real masculinity is the ability to apologize, to rationalize. It's easier to go forward, I say, if you allow her to run beside you, rather than be your dead weight. As we leave the restaurant, the exit pauses us. Let me get that for you. We walk out together. God watched my eyes were watching you. I know what it's like to love a person enough to turn a blind eye to their self-inflicted grave. How easy it is to lay in beds of dirt next to a body that feels most alive when 6 feet deep in false exaltations. I never asked to be your pallbearer. You insisted. This is what real love looks like. Carrying the weight of the living's darkness until it becomes your coffin as well. That is to say, when you love someone who does not love themselves, you'll soon forget there is Christ in you. You'll die on a cross for their sins with no intent to resurrect yourself. On the Sabbath, you'll sin for them, love them deeply, as if God said it was okay, knowing he didn't. I pray deliverance can be found in the bathtub, I've submerged myself so deep, so long, the angels stopped rejoicing and began to wonder if I'm embarking on salvation or suicide. I did not read. Okay. Okay. I will leave you then on a joyous note. Before I do so, I just want to say, reminder, like, you are all loved. You are all loved. You are all beautiful people. Sometimes I can't speak for you, I convince myself that it's not true many days. And so I try my best to remind people that they are loved, because I need the reminder myself. I hope that we have built community here. I hope that we can stay in touch. I'm on social media, Rooted in Words. Even if you don't buy the book, just go look at the back, because my Instagram handle is on there, so you'll be able to find me. I want to leave you with one poem, one last poem called On Joy, The World Didn't Give It to Me. This morning I woke up a black girl in love with herself enough to find joy with someone else rather than in them. Amen. I woke up with a newfound understanding that joy is eating pizza I did not want, because the person I did want asked if I'd come, and I could not say no to glee. Instead, I created room, made an empty stadium of my belly, replied with a subtle, I could eat. Knowing there were no rumblings echoing from within, at the time, you knew nothing of my hunger, yet cooked up a conversation that satisfied my appetite. Foolishly, I stuffed my face with everything except what I really wanted to say. Still, you knew nothing of my ribs, how they convinced me you were a home-cooked meal, all the while leaving grooves between one another for your fingers to play my body like a wind instrument. Every word from your saxophone mouth was a new note I learned to sing along with, and ain't that what happiness is? A chorus you can't seem to get out of your head, a code of blissful silence hiding in the crease of your lips. I still remember the days where joy was a monster house for me, always approached with caution, never knowing if his real torture was the act of keeping me out or the act of finally letting me in without giving me a key. I learned quickly how fragile joy is. When I asked if you were ready to go and you replied yes, my tongue grew angry at itself, erupted into a volcano. What I really meant was, are you ready to go with me? My chest is an ungentrified home with good enough bones to rest your head at least 7 days a week, and ain't that what happiness is? A house warming for self so that another may come in and appreciate your decor. Notice, my wingspan has enough space to host a last-minute sleepover with your body, an extended invitation to any party I have left in me. For you taught me not to chew with my mouth full of doubt, to sing along once I've cleared my throat and learned the words, to remember that I too am a worthy home. And ain't that what happiness is? A moment away from pulling you into an open door, wrapping itself around you like a kiss, a memory away from being a night I'll never forget, becoming the first poem to smile back at me well before it was ever written. This morning, I woke up a black girl in love and joy and awe of all this beauty I wasn't supposed to have. The world didn't give it to me. The world can't take it away. Thank you.